All right, what's going on, guys? We are back again for another episode. We are about 4.5 weeks out now. Today we're going to be doing a posterior chain day, meaning we're going to hamstrings, glutes, and a little bit of back. So it's mostly like a touch-up day. I've already hit legs in the beginning of the week. I've already hit back. This is a second day to try to hit the areas a little bit weaker. So we're going to be focusing on maybe doing 4 exercises of hamstring glute, and then finishing off with about 2 to 3 exercises for back. So I'll run you through the exercises, why I'm doing them, and the angles that I like to do. I like to hit 4 exercises hard and then go on to the next one. We don't have to kill it that much, but it's just enough to activate it and get the muscles firing, and hopefully they'll grow. So we're gonna start off here with a hamstring curl, get the hamstring nice and warmed up. So nice and easy, let's get started. All right, so me personally, I like to do these ones a little bit different variations. So most people will just lie there and curl. What I like to do is I like to make sure my hips are always touching the pad once they're locked into place. And when I curl and I push away. So like my head and my heels are almost trying to like squeeze back. I do that because I try to incorporate the bottom of the hamstring movement. And by me pushing back, it locks my hip to incorporate the top of the hamstring movement at the same time that I can squeeze and hold. As opposed to if I was just in this position, like most people grab and just curl, the hips tend to come up too much. So you want to be able to keep the hips locked into the pad. That way it keeps the hips locked and the hamstrings engaged the entire time, and then just rock from it. So I'll do that in the beginning when the weight's a little bit lighter. If I want to go heavier in a heavier day, then I'll do it in a different way where now I'm using the momentum of the weight. So I'll do it like this instead. So if I'm going a little heavier, I'll catch the weight first, and then I'll rock with it to squeeze. Catch the weight, and then rock with it to squeeze. So there's 2 ways I do it. Obviously, whatever works for you and what you're trying to focus on. The heavier way always targets a little bit more on the bottom. I do the beginning one because I can incorporate the top of the hamstring movement and brings in that tie-in from the glutes to the hamstrings. So depends what you're trying to do. That's how you incorporate the different movements using this machine. All right, up next, we're gonna superset the Gluteator here, the adductor machine, or as I like to call good girl, bad girls. We're gonna warm up, squeeze the glutes, really trying to get the detail in the glutes here, and then we're gonna really focus on the adductors. I've been feeling like the adductors have been really growing the last year, doing them twice a week. So we're gonna keep nailing them, superset both of them, really get the heart rate up. All right, for these ones, I'm doing the same style on both of them. Do 5-second negative, quick 1-second contraction. Every 5 reps, we do a 5-second hold and squeeze, whether it's abducting or adducting, hold, and we try to do that for 4 or 5 rounds. Try to get to 15 to 20 reps, doing that as much as you can. So really burns it out. As you notice, I'm not even going that heavy, but it really kills the glutes because you're activating, keep the tension the whole time. So let's try again. All right, now let's get into some movements. We're gonna be doing stiff legs here. I actually like to incorporate it here on this machine. I like to use a band. Usually if I like doing it, I get resistance right around the hips, so that when I am pulling back, for one, it pulls me back, so it forces me to throw my weight into my heels. That's where you feel most of the stretch. But when I go to lock up, I don't just lock up, it forces me to push the band in, so it really engages the top of the glute and the insertion of the hamstrings and glutes. So that this is a little bit extra. You don't have to. For beginning, just start with the weight, make sure you can engage properly. This band helps me engage just the last little bit here, just extra little squeeze as I'm going through the movement. So let's add some weight. So you're nice control, weight on the heels, slide all the way down, nice little light touch, squeeze up. Notice when I come up, I'm not rocking, squeezing, now using back. Literally, it's a hip hinging movement. So only right where your glutes lock up, that's enough. Anything over excessively, that's now using too much back. So we're trying to get the back out of the equation, just hamstrings and glute. Oh. 4.5 weeks. Let's go, baby. Oh. Here we go. 3. Last one here. Finish off with standing or kneeling leg curl. I like this one better. I'll explain this one right here when we start. Same idea as when we're doing lying curls. You're gonna really place your hip bones. Actually, come over here. I'll show you. I like this one, but the only problem is most people will rely on this one. See how it's bent? Everyone wants to put their elbows on it, which is fine. I'm not saying it's wrong. I just rather when you're in this position, you're too bent over, and you're only curling. You're only really engaged in the lower part of the hamstring. So as opposed to here, I'll use this and I'll push away. That way when your hips are nice and locked into the pad, it locks your hip. And now your whole hamstring, glute is all contracted at the same time. That way if you lean over, everything disengages from the hip. So lock the hip in place and then you curl. So let's try. The same thing this one, I'll tend to use a little bit of the rock movement where I let the full stretch at the bottom. As I curl up, I try to push away as like my head towards my heel. Squeeze up and hold that squeeze. It's not a rush. Make sure you feel the contraction, feel the full stretch at the bottom and contract at the top. Now, alrighty, just finished the last one there. Feeling pretty good. That one burned. Just the same thing, like I said, nothing crazy weight today, except for that one exercise for stiff legs. Everything else is pure volume based, trying to get that muscle contraction, get that pump as much as we could, because this is our second day hitting it this week. In general though, overall prep's going pretty good. Like I said, we're about 4.5 weeks out, so exactly 32 days out. Right now prep's going pretty good, and I feel like this week we dropped the carbs a little bit, so we just got the last 2 meals we had on carbs. Everything got reduced to about like 150 to 100 grams of rice, which is really not that much compared to what I was eating before. So energy levels are starting to plummet down a little bit, nothing crazy compared to previous preps. This prep actually feels pretty good in terms of general energy wise, in terms because we leaned out a lot quicker. I was eating a lot better through the off season. That's why off season are important. So this prep's been going a lot smoother, a lot easier. My body's actually responding a lot quicker. I'm very happy with it. Coach is very happy with it. We're not too far away. We don't have too much more to lose. This morning I hit the new low, 224.7. So technically I've made weight already because the cutoff's 225. So we're already within range. So now the weight isn't like the most important. This is how we're looking in the scale, how much fat we're losing. A couple more areas, just a little bit lower the back on the glutes. A little bit on the hamstrings just left, and then just bringing in the dryness. Coaches are trying to get me to lean out as much as we can now, since we are 4.5 weeks. So maybe the next 1 or 2 weeks push a little harder. get to where we got to be, and then we can just kind of coast into the show, that we're not like crashing right into the show and hoping for the best. So that's what our game plan is. Hopefully everything goes as smoothly. We'll keep pushing right now. Like I said, energy levels are actually not bad compared to before. Some days here and there I'm feeling it more at the end of the day, but I'm working full time, so everything's going pretty good. Energy levels are not bad in terms of just how I am day-to-day stuff, how I'm talking to people. Last prep, because I was pushing the cardio, pushing the weight, pushing everything in work, like energy levels are plummeting pretty quickly. Right now we're only doing about 40 minutes of cardio 5 days a week, versus last year we're at this point we're probably doing almost an hour and a half the full day. So it was a big difference. So I am noticing the difference, and my body's responding a lot better to it. Taking rest days, actual rest days, trying to recover, getting my therapy done, which is very important every single week. Trying to do my stretching after when I can. Yeah, everything I said, everything's going smoothly. Hopefully nothing that gets messed up from now to the show. We'll keep updating on what we're doing. I might actually do a full day of eating very soon, just to see what I'm eating on a normal day of prep, and what I'm doing and how I make it, and just, you know, basic prep stuff. So probably do that this coming week. But yeah, right now I had to go back to do my cardio, finish my cardio, probably practice a little bit of posing, and then yeah, we'll go from there. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, follow my channel. We'll be posting every single week, or every twice a week if we can, leading up to the show. So please subscribe, leave in comments if you guys like. Please share to all your friends if possible. It helps the channel grow. So tune in next time. I'll see you guys next week.